Welcome to Wikis in Education by Leanne Morris. What is a wiki? A wiki is a website where anyone can edit anything anytime they want. To diffuse and integrate a new technology in education, there are 4 stages of innovation development. 1. Need. 2. Research. 3. Development. 4. Commercialization. I will be explaining each of these in more depth in the next few slides. At the bottom of this slide, you see a link, Wiki Video Library. This link showcases videos and PowerPoints to support the teaching and learning of wikis. You will see some other highlighted links on other slides. Need is the first stage of innovation development. A wiki is a Web 2.0 application which promotes two-way communication. Collaboration and communication are 2 of the most important aspects of wikis. Collaboration and communication between teachers, with parents, and also for student work, as seen in this slide. The second stage of innovation development is research. The wiki philosophy is, the process is the product. Wikis are based on Piaget's social constructivism theory and promote active learning versus passive learning. Everyone has an opportunity to contribute to knowledge in a wiki, and for students, developing writing and social skills by learning about group consensus is important. There is also much research out today by Jimmy Wales, who is the founder of Wikipedia. The third stage of innovation development is development itself. Ward Cunningham, a programmer in Portland, Oregon in 1995, is the inventor of the first wiki. He invented it originally for business, but it is used in many other areas today. There is a great awareness spreading for benefits of education and how it can be used for educational purposes. The fourth and final stage of innovation development is commercialization. As you can see on this slide, there are several websites listed where you can set up a wiki and get started very easily. The most important part about this for education is for schools to have these websites unblocked for educational use. I will now introduce the 5 stages in the innovation decision process. As you can see from this slide, the 5 stages are listed. The years following each stage are when that particular stage was implemented in the process of the wiki. The first stage in the innovation decision process is knowledge. In 1994, the first wiki was created by Ward Cunningham in Portland, Oregon at his place of business. It was similar to the original HyperCard, and it was pre-World Wide Web hypertext. Comprehension of information about wikis and skills needed are very important for an effective adoption of the wiki. The second stage of the innovation decision process is persuasion. Between the years of 1994 and 2001, there were many efforts made to persuade people to want to use a wiki. There was the formation of the first public wiki, WikiWeb. There was support for early wiki website software development, why people like using a wiki, acceptance of information about how wikis are used, and discussion of why you would use wikis with others. The third stage of the innovation decision process is decision. For the wiki, this stage occurred between the years of 2001 and 2003. There was a big intent to seek additional information about the wiki, the intention to try wikis, especially Wikipedia, and the development of more wiki software. Also, Wikimedia Foundation was created. The fourth stage of the innovation decision process is implementation. This stage occurred for the wiki between 2004 and 2006, with an explosion in interest for Wikipedia and other Wikimedia projects. Also, acquisition of additional information about the wiki and using wikis on a regular basis was continued by many people. The fifth and final stage of the innovation decision process is confirmation. This started occurring for the wiki in 2007 and is still going on today. This includes the integration of the wiki into routines as a communication device. Wikis are now into the mainstream of the way people communicate and collaborate. There is recognition now of the benefits of using the wiki in all areas of life, including work, play, and education. Communication channels are an important part of diffusion and integration of any new technology. For the wiki, this began in 1994 and is still just as important today as it was then. The most important communication channel are interpersonal networks needed among colleagues, friends, and family. There are 4 different communication channels for the wiki: verbal, nonverbal, face-to-face, and virtual. I included this diagram in my presentation to show that wikis are now considered an integral part of conversations in social media. Looking at the diagram, the wiki component is at about 11 o'clock if you were looking at a clock face. This slide shows the S-curve for the adoption rate of the wiki in society according to the number of named Wikipedia accounts. The adoption rate of the wiki in society with the number of wiki accounts across the internet is unknown due to the varied wiki hosting sites that continue to grow for different purposes. However, the S-curve for the adoption rate of Wikipedia is shown on the previous slide with 13,211,465 named accounts with about 250,000 new accounts created every month, and the number continues to grow. Probably the most well-known wiki is Wikipedia. The mission for Wikipedia is to have the sum of all human knowledge. Jimmy Wales, Wikipedia's founder, has this famous quote, "Imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge." That's what we're doing at Wikipedia. There continues to be a lot of controversy about how we can trust the content of Wikipedia if everyone can change and edit things. Sometimes it is even referred to as Wakipedia. Thankfully, though, there are vastly more editors who want to make it right than those who want to make it wrong. I have included a link on this slide called the Wikiman song. Please listen to this to show how people are really working on making sure the content of Wikipedia is accurate. An important component of diffusing and integrating any new technology is to have innovators and early adopters on board with the technology. For the wiki in education, these innovators and early adopters would be teachers who are technology literate and see the value and benefit of using a wiki with their students and also understand how easy it is to use. In contrast to the key innovators and early adopters, the key laggards are on the other end of the spectrum. These are people who are not anxious and willing to try new things. Teachers who are not comfortable using technology would be laggards for the wiki. They do not see the benefit of using wikis with their students. They think it is just one more thing to do, and they do not see the advantage for communication and collaboration with their students, parents, and other teachers. I decided to include this slide in my presentation just to give a visual representation of the percentages of innovators, early adopters, and laggards. There are 5 perceived attributes of innovations: relative advantage, compatibility, complexity, trialability, and observability. For the next 5 slides, I will be discussing these 5 perceived attributes of the wiki. The first of the 5 perceived attributes is relative advantage. This is the degree to which the wiki is perceived as better than previous forms of collaborative communication. I have also included on this slide a web link to a wiki website called Shift Happens. This is a collaborative place where people can communicate about things that are happening to make our world a better place using technology. The second perceived attributes of innovations is compatibility. This is the degree to which the wiki is perceived as consistent with existing values, past experiences, and needs of potential adopters. The third perceived attribute is complexity. This is the degree to which the wiki is perceived as relatively difficult to understand and to use. In fact, it is quite opposite of this. Wikis are very simple to use. I have included a link on this slide in my PowerPoint that goes to YouTube that shows how quick and easy it is to create a wiki. The fourth perceived attribute is trialability. This is the degree to which the wiki may be experimented with on a limited basis. And the fifth and final perceived attribute is observability. This is the degree to which the results of using a wiki are visible to others. I believe that the diffusion process of wikis in education should be handled with a decentralized approach. This allows a wide sharing of knowledge and control among teachers. It also allows teachers to diffuse wikis to other teachers at their own school and other schools. Wikis also come from experimentation by teachers who are the innovators and early adopters, and the use of wikis are created by a perceived need as a communication and collaboration tool. The key change agents and roles for Carson City School District include the technology teachers at each school and classroom teachers who are technology innovators. I have also included on this slide the 7 roles of change agents that can affect positive social change. Number 1, we must develop a need to use wikis. Number 2, we must establish an information exchange relationship with other teachers about how to use a wiki. Number 3, we must diagnose problems that might occur. Number 4, we will create an intent for other teachers to use wikis. Number 5, we must translate an intent into action through working with peers and interpersonal networks. Number 6, we must stabilize adoption and prevent discontinuance. And number 7, we must promote teachers to obtain self-reliance when using wikis. With the wiki having not met critical mass in education yet, a key strategy for getting to critical mass would be to have the wiki introduced to specific groups of teachers at each school who are likely to be relatively more innovative or considered early adopters with technology. In order to meet critical mass in education with using wikis, we must focus on 3 perceived attributes: relative advantage, complexity, and trialability. This will allow all teachers to experiment using wikis to understand how simple and easy they are to use and why they should use them for communication and collaboration tools with their students. This slide shows a few wiki hosting sites for education that teachers can experiment with. I have also included a link in my PowerPoint presentation on how to create an education wiki using wiki spaces. ISTE, or the International Society for Technology and Education, is a true champion in promoting the need for wikis. They have created the National Educational Technology Standards for Students, which include 21st century learning skills. These are demonstrate creativity and innovation, communication and collaboration, conducting research and using information, thinking critically, solving problems and making decisions, and also using technology effectively and productively. This slide provides an excellent visual in how wikis can be used in many different aspects of education to promote communication and collaboration. In conclusion, I hope this presentation has provided a significant overview of the need for using wikis in 21st century learning. We want our students in the Carson City School District to be able to use 21st century tools and able to collaborate effectively not only with their classmates, but also with peers throughout the district and indeed the world. We want to provide this in a safe and secure environment to enhance opportunities for research, writing, and editing for a real-life audience and in authentic situations. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation.